People, deluded, good evening on this Monday evening. Now, Mondays is typically the hardest day, but it's out of the way now. TFL is a nightmare, man. I mean, TFL, fix up, man. Don't say trains are coming at one time and then it's coming the next time. I know problems happen, but far too often the same nonsense, specifically at Liverpool Street, is going on. But moving on, I thought I was going to have a calm evening, people, but like yourselves, you've probably seen a couple of movements in regards to Arsenal. Specifically, Ljungberg is making great progress and is allegedly stepping up to first team level as a coach to replace Steve Bould. Now, when Steve Bould departs the club, if he departs the club, I don't know, people. I don't know the specifics. I doubt the vast majority of you do either, because we're just football fans. But most people have said, again, this is not my opinion, but people, as well as poking the finger at Unai Emery or previously Wenger, they obviously asked, what does Steve Bould do on the coaching staff? Former player, specifically a defender. Does he get some input? Doesn't he get some input? We'll never know. Allegedly, he's being moved on, whether he wants to retire or he's going to do other things or he gets another role in the club or he does other ventures. We'll never know, people, until it comes in it. But first and foremost, I'll say Steve Bould, regardless of your opinion, he's as Arsenal as it gets. He's an Arsenal man, and he's wore the badge with honour as a backroom staff and previously a player. So first things first, for all your service and whatever you've done at the club, and just by being part of the family, credit to you if you are departing, and congratulations is the wrong word, but thank you for your service. Now, if he's being moved on, it's a new era. Unai Emery wants to get his men in to do their thing. Now, we can sit here and speculate probably that Steve Bould, maybe it was the language barrier, maybe it was the ethos, maybe it's just Unai Emery versus, it's Unai Emery wants his men, or it's his coaching staff doing his thing, and they'll bring people in. You're hearing Perez, you're seeing Ljungberg getting promoted, but in regards to people that might have a set way of seeing things, the Boulds, the kind of Wenger sort of staffs, the Burrows and all, but well, previously Burrow, the coach that was at the club, these sort of guys that are probably too old to kind of change, or, again, I'm not trying to sound ageist or anything, but, you know, Emery, new ideas, kind of younger and them things. I know you understand where I'm getting at. So, he was always going to stay for a year, kind of, I wouldn't say they owed him that, but not to kind of prevent what this video that I'm doing here, ironically, people talking about it, stays, kind of acts as a bridge. It's Unai Emery's first year. Probably didn't know how it was going to go in terms of communication with the players. If worst comes to worst, there's Steve Bould, a sort of lieutenant. His services are no longer required, it seems, and it is what it is, man. I mean, Salcedo and young Carlos Salcedo and Unai Emery and all the other backroom staff at the club that have survived, that have been here previously, and Unai Emery's men. If Unai Emery deems them they're his lieutenants to go forward with his job, then fair play, because people see the Wengers, the Fergusons, the Joses, the Emerys, the Peps, the Klopps. We see all of these guys on the touchline, and now obviously you're seeing the backroom staff. But it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are, if you can't trust your lieutenants, your coaches and whatever, to, when you're not there, to relay messages, to ensure training is of a certain standard, to trust their opinion on various different things to do with football, you will fail. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter how good Pep Guardiola is as a man and his pedigree. You're only as good as your coaching staff, and you're only as good as, one, selling these your staff members into your idea of seeing what you want to do, and two, being able to trust them and finding people you can trust, like I said, to do things to a certain standard and things like that. He's obviously got Arteta, he's got his people behind him. Pochettino's the same. I don't know my man's name, but Spurs, what's that guy with the long hair? Whenever they pan to Pochettino on the camera, there's that Spanish guy with long hair, and there's that shorter sort of Don as well. They're always with Poch. So if Poch isn't there, you see what I'm saying? You see the managers and whatnot, but it's the backroom staff that are as vital, people. You've got to remember how many coaching sessions, the sheer amount of players, because Pep Guardiola obviously tries his best, and he has given his attention to more or less all of his players because they've improved. But if he's taking time to improve Sterling, for example, he's going to have less time, naturally, because he's one man with Gab Jesus, or who else has improved this season? Bernardo Silva, or do you get it, people? So he's going to need other people to kind of help him out a bit. So when he's chatting with Sterling, someone can do the thing of a certain standard to help Sane. So you get the point. Relaying it back to Arsenal, Obviously, like I said, it is what it is. Bowl's been a previous player here. He's been a coach of the youth side. He's been a coach under Wenger. Thank you very much for your service. But it's Unai Emery time, and if this is what he wants, or even if it wasn't him, if this is the structure, then we just have to support it. And in regards to Ljungberg, people, I wouldn't be surprised if he manages this club one day. To be honest, this is the sort of way we're going now. Even company now, what company's going back to Anderlecht as a manager now? So this is the sort of climate. Like, you see in the Jabi Alonso's, I personally feel you'll see Cesc Fabregas, Kevin De Bruyne in a couple of years when he retires. Obviously, a couple of people I see as being coaches. To be fair, is you obviously see Lampard and Gerrard. So maybe we could, and Ollie's come back, bit different, but Ollie's come back to United. So maybe we're grooming Ljungberg. We need to remember Ljungberg's already gone out and been an assistant manager at Wolfsburg. He's worked with our youth team. He's rising up the ranks, and it's nice to see, man. Perez is obviously to come back in some capacity, so it's nice to see. And like I said, Ljungberg's done his thing for Arsenal's under-18s as they won the league. No, I'm sorry, he's not the manager for the under-18s. The under-23s, sorry, as they narrowly missed out on stuff. Previously worked for the under-18s. So yeah, man, if he's deemed to go into the coaching staff, if he continues the same thing he's been doing, clearly someone that's likable as a man, and that's them sort of things they're understated in regards to coaching. So if the players will buy into what he wants to do, and Unai Emery trusts him as a lieutenant as part of his sort of journey in Arsenal, then I'm all for it. I mean, it's Freddie Ljungberg, man. I've told you how many times, for obvious reasons, I can't dye my hair my hair red, and my mother wouldn't let me, but I wanted to dye my hair red in primary like Freddie Ljungberg, so I'm all on it for him, man. Very underrated player, man. I'm all for it, and away from all that nostalgia, because it's actually irrelevant from him coaching. The proof is there. I'm not saying he's Pep Guardiola, but he's done his thing. He's improving players at youth level. He's obviously getting results. If it was Unai, I'll never know. Maybe it's just in the name of promoting people, like we're seeing with Perez coming back and Mertesacker in his role and other people. If it's just being done in the name of promoting people, then good on him. But if Unai specifically said, yo, listen, Ljungberg, I'm liking what you're doing. You need to come on my thing and jump with the first team, and obviously still look out for the youth man them and that, but come and do this thing. If he's done that, then that's a huge vote of confidence for him, man. Ljungberg has shown us, like I said, don't be surprised if he's a manager having his own go at management. And Ljungberg is someone that takes the opportunity when it comes. Remember when he was at the youth ranks, Jonker, our head of academy at the time, he got the offer to be manager of Wolfsburg. Ljungberg was presented with the offer of being assistant manager. Now he could have stayed at Arsenal and been loved and them things there, but he took the jump to be assistant manager. Didn't work out at Wolfsburg, ironically for Kalen Hines that went there as well as the two previous staff. But he's someone that takes the opportunity, that relishes improving, that sort of wants to sink or swim and stuff, won't rest on his laurels. It's that sort of mentality the players need, the backroom staff need, because what is the underlying point, people? Ambition. So I'm all for it, man. Obviously, I'd like to hear that we signed a centre half. That's the next video I'd love to be doing out here, saying we've got a centre half somewhere. But for me, anyways, I don't feel there's much for me really to add on to that now, people. So on that note, people, DG, thank you for watching and rocking. I'm out.